Dude, I don't know. I went over it.
Two of the hottest bikes on my channel, the Rocky Mountain Altitude and the Pivot Firebird. These are direct competitors and definitely have a lot in common. But at the same time, these bikes feel so very different on the trail. These bikes are long travel 29er Enduro bikes with 170 travel in front and around 160 out back. Both are size medium and both fit us quite well. I first showed the Firebird on my channel in 2022. And while this version here is indeed a different color, nothing has changed on the bike since it was first announced back in late 2021. I did use the silver Firebird to test the new Fox Live Valve Neo suspension and the wireless seat post. That said, I removed all the electronics and returned the bike back to stock form. Stock X2, stock fork, stock seat post. I left the adjustment in the slacker, lower position. While the Firebird has just 2 positions to adjust geometry, the Altitude has 3 different adjustments. I'm happiest with the short reach position, the steepest head angle, the most linear suspension, and shortest back end. The Rocky Mountain Altitude has had some limelight recently as I just featured it in a massive carbon handlebar comparison. I chose the Altitude for that test as its size and girth positions it nicely to send 20 consecutive laps down Whistler's famous A-line. The Firebird could certainly do that as well, but there's a reason I went for the Altitude, and you'll find out why in this video here. At the same time, I definitely choose the Firebird for backcountry epic pedal fests, as well as for laps on my local hill. And again, find out why in this video. So let's buckle up and hit the trails.
We're having fun.
Two of the hottest enduro bikes in this day and age, the Rocky Mountain Altitude, perhaps the most changed bike for 2024, and the Pivot Firebird, hasn't seen a change in a year or two. I've been lucky enough to borrow both of these bikes from their respective brands. These things are sweet. They're long travel, big hit, all around bikes built for racing on the Enduro World Series circuit, which was called EDR, and I'm not sure if it's a thing in the future actually. But regardless, these enduro bikes are the kind of bikes that people like myself, and I think Logan, really like to ride as all around bikes. So today we're gonna go back and forth and compare these two bikes, and I'll be joined by Logan.
I didn't know if, like, when you said my name, if that's what you want me to come in.
What's your bike of choice at home?
My current bike that I own is a Rocky Mountain Altitude, the previous generation.
Which was my favorite bike of all time.
It is my current favorite bike of all time.
So I thought it'd be fun today to go back and forth and try the two bikes back to back on a bunch of really fun trails. These things are set up almost stock, and very similarly, they both have 170 travel Fox 36 Grip 2 forks. They both have Fox Float X2 rear shocks. They have the exact same tires front and rear. They have the same grips. Let's jump into it, find out which bike is better, which is hard because they're going to be different. The video is really about mountain biking and having fun, so let's keep that front and present.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've not really ridden this this new Rocky Mountain, so I'm very excited to see if it's as good as the old one.
Find out if you bought the wrong one.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ride some trails. That's a lot of bike for that little bit of trail.
This is a mellow huck to flat test.
I squirted the dirt. Yeah, my shot was awful, but that was a sick jump.
I don't really have anything insightful to say.
Easier on the jibber jabbers. You yawned mid-corner.
You making fun of me?
No, I would never. I feel kind of dehydrated. I feel kind of foggy. I feel a little bit of possible cramping. Too much ab workouts lately. I might have to remedy this with a little element spelled LMNT. Here in the Northwest, it gets pretty cool and damp for about, 2/3 of the year. And while we're out riding, we often wear like pretty heavy duty gear to stay warm and comfortable, which is great, except once in a while, you don't take stuff off quick enough and you start sweating. And you can sweat enough that you can end up with a little bit of dehydration. You can get a little bit lightheaded. You can get way more tired faster than you'd expect. So one thing I've done to combat some dehydration is supplement a hydration pack with a water bottle with a very simple electrolyte supplement. I've been lucky enough to partner with the fine folk over at Element, spelled LMNT, and they make a really simple supplement. It's just sodium, magnesium, potassium, a little bit of natural flavoring and stevia. This is the orange salt flavor right here. And I found that with one of these in a water bottle, I can extend my average ride quite a bit more. For a limited time now, anyone who uses my link in the description below, drinkelement, lmnt.com/Jeff, Jeff, will earn a free sample pack with any purchase. Big thanks to all of you for trying this stuff over the last couple years and letting me know in the comments just how much you indeed like it. Big thanks to Element for their support. Let's make a quick bottle full and hit the trails. Stay salty, everyone.
How's this angle? It's pretty good.
So climbing along here on the Altitude, I'm pretty comfortable. Things are going well. It's a bit of bike to manage through the tight switchbacks. But the pedal's pretty good. It's just you got a lot of bike to work with. Pretty normal for a big bike like this.
I'm currently pedaling uphill on the Pivot Firebird. So far, for being a long travel bike, I'm impressed at how good it feels for this long seated climb. I don't think you're making much of a sacrifice to pedal this uphill all day, but gaining so much on the descents considering how well this bike descends. I'm wearing a big camera backpack right now and I don't really feel any bobbing. Feels pretty good. Now we'll change the camera angle in case we don't want to look at the bottom side of my face.
We should swap bikes so we can both feel the radness that is each one. And so we don't die of SARS. Let's trade bottles. Wow, I can definitely note how slack the seat angle is on this bike. And then it feels a little shorter, like it's gonna be easier in the switchbacks. I would definitely say this is the better climber.
Upon switching bikes, this one immediately feels a little plusher in the rear end. I wouldn't say it's like worse. Maybe it feels like ever so slightly less efficient, but there's so many other little factors that goes into that. It's tough to tell. I might be a little bit more inclined to lock this one out than the Firebird.
Here we have an artistic shot of Logan matching the forest with his jacket. All systems go. Logan on an altitude, Jeff on a Firebird. Sorry, I forgot how to corner.
Never ridden this bike. Yeah, feels nice. Interesting black trail we have here. Jumps.
Yeah, there's jumps. So here we have a small jump. We'll see how good both bikes can land you. This bike manual is pretty okay. Time to get used to a whole new bike. Whoa, these levers are in a weird spot. Did you move these?
I did.
Try out the altitude. Oh, this thing's so burly. Oh, nice. Oh, oh, this thing's so burly. Oh, nice. Oh. Bike impressions after one lannual. The Rocky Mountain feels much more like a tank. It feels bigger, it feels more confident, it feels slacker. I felt like I had nothing to be afraid of. It was easier to pull into the manual on the Firebird. It's a shorter back end. It landed. I could feel it landing a little bit more, which is kind of nice. I could more tactile sensation of the trail. Trail is more muted on this guy. That's like definitely more playful. This guy's more confidence inspiring. Both of them could do it though. Kind of different, kind of similar. Great groundbreaking review right there. All right. Let's see what kind of analysis Logan can share with us.
I think what I might do is just go like huck to flat safely. Like,
oh, the mega huck test.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Huck to flat test between
Yeah.
Pivot Rocky Altitude and the Pivot Firebird.
Yeah, Jeff has the manual. Not all of us can do that. So
It's not fair.
I'm just gonna, yeah, it's not fair. I'm just gonna huck to flat-ish. I don't know, it felt totally okay. I was just saying that the bike felt really composed.
Yeah.
Like I could have gone double the speed, double the height, double the distance.
That one feels more progressive to me.
This is a mellow huck to flat test.
Yeah. It's not your life's work, it's okay.
Good warm up, what?
It's not your life's work, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, huh. This one jumps way different.
Isn't it tempting to now go and do more runs on both bikes to try to go further?
Yeah, I would love to. I expected this bike to have more pop. I think it was just mostly me not doing it correct off of the takeoff. I don't know, between those two, I preferred that one.
Yeah.
I've barely ridden either of these bikes.
Yeah.
And so far that one, I feel better on.
For me, it's harder to get used to the Rocky. The Firebird just hop on and shred.
I don't know.
At the same time, I was also more ready to send it irresponsibly on the altitude from the Rocky. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, that was better.
Oh! I think jump's fine. Jump's nice. It's a small jump. It's hard to really like mega huck or boost it because it's not a very steep takeoff.
Yeah.
But bunny hop wise, bunny hop's really nice with the short back end, kind of shortish feel. It's maneuverable. If I went fast on that thing, I would have the guts to just like, 40 feet, here we come. But you're not getting 40 feet right here, right now, no. Let's go play on other stuff. Oh, way further that time. Nice. Think we can clear that jump? There's a jump down here with like 2 landings. I'm gonna try to pull for the further one and I'll see which bike can get a distance challenge better. That's a big jump. Well, I made it to where I thought I could maybe make it if I tried real hard. Right down there from all the way up there.
It's pretty far.
Yeah, it's like a good 15 feet. So, try it on the Firebird. Oh God. Oh, oh God. Oh, dead sailor. Thought I was gonna meet my maker for a moment there. Look at the skid mark. Oh my gosh.
I was also feeling kind of wonky on that thing.
You can see how badly I squirted the dirt by botching that landing. I landed on that root and then it sent me in a little bit of a skid. I pulled into everything and it pulls really nice because it's so short, but then it's a little bit smaller and I got a little bit more nervous in the air. Got a little bit wonky and couldn't correct it all that good. And then I landed on that root. Last time I didn't land on the root. So this is more my fault. And it's got enough travel so that after I slid through the sand, it recovered and it was fine. So yeah, you gotta be more on your A game to properly send it on the Firebird, but it can do it. Oh yes, it can, and it will.
Jeff is really good at going very far on small jumps like this. I'm just kind of good. You definitely boosted more. That felt,
Oh, here comes downhillers.
that felt nice,
Cool.
chill.
Hello.
Howdy, fellow GoPro.
Cool, give it a go on the old altitude.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
The Altibird. Wonder if I could jump over you if you're standing right there.
Maybe, a thumbnail.
That would be sweet.
You weren't high enough. I was a little cautious on this turn last time. I couldn't remember how tight it was. Now I know you can kind of just go as fast as you want.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I felt a lot more comfortable on this one.
This stuff it's all cool on the Firebird, but the altitude is like gobbling up for more send.
Totally.
It's a silly challenge. Woo! Woo! We got Logan on the race bike. Dude, it's easier to predict when it's snow and slippery like this. Dude, I don't know. I went over it. Dude, rock garden shot. How was your race run?
Little less controlled on this one that time. I think I prefer the Firebird through here. Yeah, I felt like, you know, less bike. I was like managing less through these quick back-to-back turns and then this really small takeoff. There's like not a lot of speed here, not a lot of like rough trail to need to be soaking up. And so the other one just felt more, I don't know what the word is.
Easier on the jibber jabbers.
It just, yeah, it just felt easier. It just did it better. Yeah, I don't know. I prefer the Firebird through this stuff. Your turn.
Oh. Oh. I got all inspired. This bike is a bit to manage. That's a lot of bike for that little bit of trail. I felt like I could go faster than I probably should have gone. Let's try the more appropriate tool for this job here. For how easy it is to handle the altitude and tight, slow, technical things, it is a bigger bike, and you gotta think about it more. All right, let's do this section on the Firebird. Oh yeah. Woo! This is like a giant trail bike. I feel like this bike's built for sections like this. If you need to manipulate the bike and put energy into the bike, this thing's gonna be a little more fun, a little more responsive. That's an overused word in every YouTube video about bikes. Now it's overused in this video too. Don't worry, we got you. This was like, yeah, very nimble. More nimble than the bigger one. The bigger one, its superpower is absolute confidence. Section like this, do you really need confidence? Now you need more nimble and handling European sports car. And the Firebird was, you know, it was the Fiat through this little bit of trail. Let's keep on rocking. All right, I'm good if you're good. Oh, that's a wall ride missed opportunity. If I ever saw one. Like you can manual and you can jump into it. And it seems like coming in, jumping right here, and then jumping out. That was kind of it. Oh, case. Oh, I got into the bike a little. Oh, it pops off better. The wall ride champion of, but then I struggle the corner while talking. So, for the extremely specific bike comparison everyone's looking for the right angled wall ride comparison, the Firebird pops off of this way better than the Altitude does. There's something about its weight and its short back end. It lifted off the rock a little bit easier, but then the Altitude came into it with more, just with more bravado. It felt like I got this. So I tried it harder on the Altitude with more initial commitment. It could do it, but it was clunkier, especially coming off. And that's the difference between the Firebird and the Altitude on a right side wall ride at a slight angle, slightly before sunset, in fall weather. Like and subscribe for more.
Yeah, I got an idea. Instead of just riding, how about we film a bunch of wheelies?
Isn't that what we always do?
It's comparison.
Oh, damn. That is surprising. Oh, there.
Should we film those three turns back up there?
Ugh.
You yawned mid-corner. Yes! Oh, wow.
I feel like I'm able to turn better on this bike.
Okay.
I think I would get used to the other one, but quickly swapping between the two, I don't know, this one I'm able to adjust to, adapt to quicker.
Good at turning.
It's good at turning.
Good at high-speed turning.
Feels really nice.
Because you're going, what, like close to 20 through this? 15 to 20?
Yeah, something.
Sick, I liked your wheelie.
Yeah.
Where'd you learn those?
Practicing, yeah. The Kendall-Weed style at the end of every shot.
I'm gonna try this one first and then the Firebird. So I have to wheelie here because Logan did too. This bike works so good. That was rad. I wouldn't want any of that different. All right, let's do it different. I feel like I'm going faster. Oh. I feel like I'm going faster. Oh. Got a wheelie. A little harder to wheelie this thing distance. I was really debating before we came out here if I should leave that Float X that I had on this bike when Fox gave it to me, because with that Float X, this bike is so much better. In these turns, like, it did fine, it was okay. Yes, the altitude was more stable. I felt safer, I felt like I could push it harder. I felt like my balance, I felt like I had a wider range for the balance to be in before I would slide out. The altitude was really nice for this faster stuff. But, that's because I got the stock Float X2 shock in back. Even if you just spent like the $300 for a discount sale Float X somewhere for an old one, that would help this bike so much. When we rode this thing and filmed it with that Float X with the battery removed, so just regular Float X status, fastish corners, like close to 20-mile-an-hour corners like this, it did so good on these. I think we're losing some traction and predictability with how firm that X2 is damped and just how heavy it is. Rocky's got a different tune on theirs. Yeah, different feel. But this thing does this stuff just fine. Normally I do like totally dialed bike versus totally dialed bike to just compare what they do well, but I thought I'd do it different this time, and now I could have enjoyed these corners 5% more.
While we filmed this video in a single day, I had almost 6 months of off and on riding aboard the Altitude and over 3 months on the Firebird. Both bikes are great, but despite the similar design intent, they are indeed very, very different experiences. The Firebird absolutely crosses from the obvious enduro category all the way over into the all-around trail bike zone. Despite its copious amounts of suspension travel, it's got a tidy overall feel that won't water down those more tame local trails that many of us find ourselves riding most often. While the Altitude can certainly enjoy those mellower trails, it's definitely a bigger, hungrier bike, salivating for the gnarliest of the gnar. When I first rode this Firebird, it was configured with the Fox Float X rear shock and a standard aftermarket tune. I much preferred that shock, as it allowed the rear end to move more easily, yet still have more progression for the bigger jumps. I feel that the Float X would have the Firebird feeling closer to the Altitude on bigger hits. And on the mellower stuff, it's also going to further the wins of the shiny Desert Cruiser. The stock Float X2 that Pivot uses is fine, but it's not tuned in a way that works as well for my style of riding as perhaps the X2 on the Rocky. Big thanks to Element for their support. If you haven't yet tried it, please do check out the Element website with that link in the description below.
If you guys want to see more extremely specific bike comparisons, please hit the subscribe button down below. Let me know in the comments which corner and which state and which country we should come compare bikes. And thanks for watching. Leave me a comment down below. Peace and wheelies, everyone.